Hi guys, welcome to my channel Sushruta. Today our topic is migration in fishes. Generally, fishes restrict their movement and do not go out of their home ranges. But some species travel long distances in search of food and for breeding. Such long journey taken by fishes from one place to another and back is called fish migration. That means fishes won't go from their original feeding places, but for any reasons like for food or for breeding, they migrate from they move from one place to another place. That means either from river to sea or sea to river or in the river only from long distances. Such types of movements for long distances is known as fish migration. And that migrating movements may be in vertical direction as from deeper to surface water. That means from lower of the sea to upper on the surface, or in horizontal direction either upstream or downstream. That means either upstream or downstream in horizontal directions. Okay. Next, types of migration. Migration may be many types. In those, some are elemental migration, gametic migration, climatic migration, and osmoregulatory migration. First, elemental migration. Elemental migration is also known as feeding migration because if a fish go in search of food, that means if a fish migrates in search of food from one place to another, that migration is known as elemental migration. Next, gametic migration. If a fish migrates in the necessity of reproduction, that is breeding or spawning, that migration is known as gametic migration. Next, climatic migration. This is to secure more suitable climatic conditions. That means not only fishes, any animal live in a suitable climatic conditions. That means the climatic conditions which are comfortable for their living. If those conditions alter, then fishes migrate to a place where the climatic conditions are suitable for its living. That migration is known as climatic migration. Next, osmoregulatory migration. This is to control its internal osmotic pressure. Next, methods of migration. A fish can make migratory movements by the following methods. What are they? Drifting, random locomotory movement, and orientate swimming movement. First, drifting. Slow migratory movements in which the fishes are carried passively by water currents is called drifting. It may be directional if all water is moving in one direction. Yes, that means these fishes move along with the water. That means along with the direction of in which the water is moving. That method of migration is drifting. It is slow migratory movements because fishes will not move actively, they move passively along with the water. Okay. Next, random locomotory movement. These movements are random in direction and may lead to either uniform distribution or aggregation. Random means in any direction it can move, but they may lead to a uniform distribution of fishes or aggregation. That means at one place bulk amount of fishes move. That is known as aggregation. Okay. Next, orientate swimming movement. Fishes swim in a particular direction, either towards or away from the source of stimulation, and fishes move at some angle between them and the source of stimulation. Okay. That type of movement in which these characteristics are seen is known as orientate swimming movement. Next, patterns of migration. Myers, a scientist known as Myers, in 1949, that is after our independence, 2 years after our independence, has described the following patterns of migration. What are those patterns of migration? First, diadromous. In diadromous we find anadromous, Catadromus and Amphidromus. Three types are found in Diadromus. And next, the second type is Potamodromus. And the third type is Oceanodromus. Okay? Oceanodromus. Next. First, Diadromus. These fishes are truly migratory because they migrate between sea and fresh water. That means the fishes which belong to Diadromus, that means Anadromus, Catadromus and Amphidromus, fishes migrate between sea and fresh water. As I said before, Diadromus fishes, there are three types, namely Anamadromus, Catadromus and Amphidromus. First, Anadromus. Fishes which spend major part of their life in sea, that means in marine water, they spend much time in their lifetime and migrate to fresh water during the breeding season for spawning are called anadromous fishes. That means anadromous fishes spend most of those lifetime in sea, and for spawning they migrate to fresh water during the breeding season. A particular season is present for breeding, especially for fishes. At that particular season they migrate, so that is breeding season. Okay, for spawning are called anadromous fishes. Example, Atlantic salmon, Pacific salmon and Hilsa or Elisha. After egg laying, they return to their feeding place in the sea, and some species even die after spawning. It is their general nature. Catadromus. Fishes which spend major part of their life in fresh water and migrate to sea for laying eggs are called catadromous fishes. That means catadromous is quite opposite to anadromous. In catadromous, fishes spend most of their lifetime in fresh water and migrate to sea for laying eggs, that means for spawning only, are called catadromous fishes. Example, freshwater eel and anguilla. The adults die after laying eggs. In catadromous also, the adult fishes die after laying eggs. Okay. Next, Amphidromus. In Amphidromus, fishes which migrate from fresh water to seawater and vice versa, that is from seawater to fresh water, not for breeding but occurs regularly at some stage in the life cycle, are called amphidromous fishes. That means amphidromous fishes is both a mixture of catadromous and anadromous, but a point which differs it from both catadromous and anadromous is the fishes which belong to amphidromous, they will not migrate for breeding. See, not for breeding, but occurs regularly at some stage in the life cycle, are called amphidromous fishes. I said before that catadromous or anadromous fishes, they migrate for spawning or breeding or reproduction, but amphidromous fishes will not migrate for reproduction. They migrate for any other separate reasons. Okay, example, goby fish. Next, the second type of migration is potamodromous migration. The migration which remains confined to freshwater are called potamodromous migration. That means fishes which belong to potamodromous migration, they will not move to marine water or sea water. They will only migrate in freshwater. That is, they move for a long distances in freshwater and stay in freshwater only. Such kind of migration is potamodromous migration. They travel long distances in search of spawning, and after egg laying returns to the feeding place. Example, carps and trouts. Next, oceanodromous fishes. The migration which remains confined to the sea water are called oceanodromous migration. That means this oceanodromous is quite opposite to potamodromous. The migration which remains confined to the sea water are called oceanodromous migration. That means in sea only they move for a long distances for egg laying or for food or any other reasons. They live in the sea only. Even they return to their feeding places after egg laying. That means they move in the sea for a long distances for spawning. They lay their eggs there and again they return to their feeding places after egg laying. Example cords, herrings, tunas and mackerels. Factors influencing migration are there are factors which influence migration. They are what are those factors? Let's see. Three kinds of factors. What are they? Physical factors, chemical factors, and biological factors. First, physical factors. Depth of water, temperature of water, light intensity, photo period, turbidity are the physical factors which influence migration. These are the physical factors which influence the migration. And chemical factors. Factors like salinity, pH, smell, taste of water greatly influence the migration. That means they even may be the conditions, the unsuitable conditions for the fishes. If these are the suitable conditions, they live, but if these are unsuitable conditions, then they'll definitely migrate. These may be one of the reasons for their migration. Biological factors. A number of biological factors like sexual maturity, blood pressure, biological clocks, endocrine glands, presence or absence of predators and competitors influence the migration. These may be many factors like physical, chemical, and biological which influence the fishes to migrate from one place to another. Next, the final topic here is significance of fish migration. That means what is the importance of migration? What are the advantages of migration is significance. Okay? To find suitable feeding and spawning ground. That means for feeding and for spawning, a proper place is necessary for fishes. Proper place is needed. So for that reason, they may migrate. And for protection from predators. Yes, it is one of the main reason which they migration, because they migrate to protect themselves from the predator fishes which may take them as a prey. Next, they survive from extreme climatic conditions. The climatic conditions which are not suitable for them, they can survive from such conditions by migrating. And increases genetic diversity, yes, and it is an adaptational character for survival and existence. Yes, fish migration is an adaptational character for fishes for their survival and existence. That's it, guys. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel Sushruta. Bye bye, guys. Meet you in the next video.